back after a hiatus.
Yeah, longer beard, gray hairs.
Definitely more
no
gray
hair. Or too much hair, one of the two.
So, yeah. So, I think last time, 3 months ago?
Yeah, it's been way
3
too
or 4?
long. Probably more like 4.
So, I know you guys have been busy, right? And I think that's just kind of the idea of this one, just kind of like reintroduce what everybody's been up to and what we got coming up. All right?
Yeah, and kind of going a little bit what you went through as well, because you had a little busy summer too at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
I think did your meet start before ours in July?
Yes.
So you had, what did you have?
Jeez.
Yeah.
There was a lot this year. So we did California's Strongest Man. I think the last one we did, the last podcast, was just after California's. So then after that one, I went up and did the Arizona State Champs up in Flagstaff. Oh, my bad.
It'll be like...
Yeah. Come in?
Yeah.
So I did Arizona State Champs after that one, and then Europa was in August. Yeah, so that was August 6th.
6th,
yeah. It was my sister's birthday, actually. So, yeah, August 6th, and then I think you guys were in Texas.
I was in Texas
just
at that
after
point.
that.
Yeah, because I did the USA's at the end of July, it's 29th. You guys were there.
Mm-hmm.
And the weekend before that, you were at one of your meets, or the weekend after, which would have been the Europa.
Yep.
And then, so we went to Vegas for 6-7 days, came back for 1 day, 2 nights, and headed to Texas for 2 weeks. Went to the Better Bodies and the Gasp 40th anniversary at Destination Dallas, Michael Johannessen's gym. That was a blast. Met a ton of people. The network there is just incredible that we've gotten involved in there with all the bodybuilders and just fitness enthusiasts, but a lot of them are hardcore bodybuilders.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking, and
Branch Warren's a huge part of it. Him and
is he co-owner of it? Is he
him and Michael started Gasp.
Okay.
In 2012, when the economy was kind of at the low.
Okay.
Better Bodies has been around for 40 years, but now the economy came back. Better Bodies and Gasp have both risen together.
Okay.
But Branch is a huge part of Gasp for sure, and the first sponsored bodybuilder athlete for them.
Oh, wow.
So they have over 1,700 affiliates that promote their products, and they have Derek Slunford and then Sean Clarita,
Okay.
Mr. 212 Mr. Olympia, that are their athletes. Brett Wilkin, Ivanka
Yeah, I was gonna
Wilkin.
say, yeah.
So there's quite a few guys, and those are just the top ones. I mean, there's quite a few others. And plus, the 1,700 affiliates, which everyone is allowed to show up. They have big, huge team meetings. Mike's awesome about keeping the whole world in a big, huge community.
Yeah, and you guys were invited out for that, right?
Yeah, Michael had stopped by our gym here and loved what we were doing here and kind of the community we've built here. And part of his Iron World tours that he does, he goes around and travels the world and hits other gyms and just kind of promotes his stuff and blasts our stuff. So
nice. And so that was what he was doing here, or he's coming back for that?
We're so busy right now. He's so busy for the Olympia. He's running an actual mansion down there.
Oh, wow.
So they'll have a watch party and barbecue and food for the Olympia.
Texas?
In Vegas.
Oh, wow.
For the Olympia that people can't go watch.
Just down the street.
Yeah, just down the street. It's a massive venue, so it's pretty cool. We'll probably end up stopping by there and check it out.
Nice.
But then right after that, we went down there a week early for that, or a couple days, and then Melissa had the Texas Pro, which
she did okay that day, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Just took the whole thing. So
biggest prize money in physique history.
Women's physique, aside from the Olympia, was the second largest.
Okay.
So the Olympia,
huge.
Yeah.
And it was hosted by Sarah. Is that right?
So it wasn't hosted by Sarah. So
so
she sponsored.
Okay.
Prize money for the women's physique division in particular. So
and she's reigning Mrs. O
she's
physique?
second, 2-time reigning Mrs. Olympia for physique, Miss Olympia. She was scared backstage. She's thinking Melissa's gonna be her main competitor. So
but pictures, I think she is.
She's a cool gal, super nice. Her and her husband. They own a big 50,000 square foot gym in Texas.
Wow.
It's a private facility. They catered more toward executives and high-end clients.
50,000 square feet.
50,000 square feet indoor. Really nice place. We didn't end up getting a chance to stop by there. We were busy with everything else we had going on.
Yeah.
Super great. She $15,000 for first place, and then 2 days before the event, gave prize money for the top 5. So she actually gave more money for every single placing there.
Oh wow!
So they really did really well.
Couple grand for those places, or
Yeah, I don't even know. I think it was probably 5, 3,
Wow.
2, 1, something like that. But
talk about giving back to the sport.
yeah, but it's cool. Melissa really loved Texas. She'd never been there. We drove. It was about a 14-hour drive.
Miserable?
There. I think so. She likes doing that stuff. I'm old now. I just want to sleep. 6 hours. I'm topped out in my car. But then we came back. My placing at the USA's wasn't what I wanted. But I was still in good condition. Meeting a lot of the pros down there at Texas, they kind of talked me into doing the North Americans.
Okay.
So I transitioned to North Americans, which was 5 weeks after the USA's.
Okay.
So once we got back from Texas, I had 3 weeks left. So I was there for 2 weeks, and then I headed to Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh for almost a week, and competed there in the Masters and in the Open. Still didn't place where I wanted, but I'm still in the top.
Yeah.
We're restructured for next year, putting some size on. We're going to come back and take it again next year. So,
Nice.
if you do this sport to win, you're in the wrong freaking sport. You do it because you love to lift.
Yeah, absolutely.
You love to lift, and then you'll win.
Yeah.
So, learned a ton this year with the coaches I've had, coaching myself as a coach, how to treat people and what's expected and what you need to have done for you as a competitive bodybuilder on stage. Those last few days, the weeks,
Sure.
Old school compared to new school, we have so much more that we can do nowadays to really dial people in. So learned a lot there. Then Melissa's birthday was about a couple days after.
And then you were back on the road.
Back on the road. So out of those 8 weeks, I was gone 5 of them.
Yeah.
It was a
You
blast.
guys went to Seattle.
We went to Seattle.
Yeah.
She'd never been there. It's kind of where I grew up. So
Yeah.
she had a blast. We had a blast. It was a great time. Guess she's going to do the future event here on the November 5th, the Arizona Pro, for her third,
Three-peat.
for the three-peat, hopefully, and
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. We gotta be modest for
Yeah,
her.
be a little humble about it.
She's so humble herself. She just does her and just shows up,
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's a month and 5 days, and then it's Olympia. Is that right? December 10th? No. That can't be right.
16th.
It's the 16th.
She competes on the 16th.
Okay, because we have Battle of the Beast on the 10th.
Battle of the Beast
So
is
that
on
would
the 10th.
conflict pretty bad.
Yeah. So moving forward from today, what do we have? We have the Static Monsters event that we're holding. It's a worldwide
29th.
event, strongman event up at the other facility on the 29th. Just a two lift event, log press and then an axle pull from roughly 18 inches off the ground. Then we move on to the Arizona Pro November 4th, where I have 2 athletes, a female bodybuilder and a bikini, doing the amateur. And then I think we have 3 pros. We have Carrie, your wife's a figure.
Yep. Amy's doing it?
Maybe Amy. I'm pretty sure Amy's doing it. Reyes. And then Melissa's doing the women's physique part of that one. 2 weeks after that, we have Masters USA's. And I have both of these amateurs that are competing at the Arizona Pro doing that show as well. 2 weeks after that, we have the Battle of the Beast, the strongman event, our big event of the year, and then a week after that's the Olympia. We'll wrap that show up and just head to the Olympia for a week and a half. So,
And then we're done. We're done for the year.
yeah,
that right?
pretty much pulls you all the way to the end of the year. It's Christmas right by the time we get back. It's a couple days before Christmas. So.
Because you guys are the 16th, and you guys will be back on the 19th. Is that right? You guys are spending a couple days there afterwards.
Yeah, we'll probably stay midweek.
Okay.
Yeah, we rented a nice little place so we can get a whole bunch of the crew down there.
Nice.
But that ends on the 18th or 19th. But then Melissa and I are going to stay a couple more days.
Nice.
She loves Vegas. She's always loved Vegas. There's great restaurants we like to go there.
It's over the top. It's Scotty.
Yeah, she loves.
It's cool.
She won her pro card there. Every time we're there, it's just been great. So she just loves that place.
Yeah, and then not to.
You guys will be there too, right?
Yep. We'll be there as well. Yeah, and not to foretell the future, but after you win your first Olympia, you should probably hang out for a little bit.
It's gonna be awesome this year. All divisions are so stacked.
Now, she took 5th last year. Is that right?
She took 6th.
6th last year.
First time up last year, 6th. Arguably could have had 3rd in my opinion.
Yeah.
First and second, okay, it's your first Olympia. 3rd, she should have got, in my opinion. But, you got to play the game. Mm-hmm. It's your first time on stage if the other girls have been there a little bit longer.
She was relatively new to that level as well, right? I mean, she had done a few pro shows, but she had just gotten back into bodybuilding after powerlifting. That was
She had a 4-year layoff between competing in a bodybuilding show and doing that again, right? And she did powerlifting.
I think that was Arizona Pro she did.
In 2020.
That was her debut back.
Right, and that was at the end of the year. That was in December.
Yep.
And then the fall 2021, it was in September.
Yep, and that was another Arizona Pro.
Yeah, she double qualified for the 21 Olympia.
Yep.
So yeah, 2 pro. She's competed other pro shows in the past, but she wasn't a young pro. Yeah, she's quite a bit more mature.
She's definitely poised for podium at least. Even if politics comes into it, and they're like, "Well, you're still too new to this level," but it'll still be.
It's gonna be great. After she won the Texas Pro, there was a big buzz out. That it's her and the Olympian, Sarah going head to head. But man, I've seen some women coming from some of these other shows in other countries. Everyone's bringing top game this year. It's pretty cool. Same with the men. The men's division is probably going to be the biggest they've ever had. It's going to be 24 athletes, maybe.
Pretty crazy to see what they're all doing right now.
15 top 5s. How do you do that? Right?
Going to be a lot of ties.
Yeah.
No, just kind of watching some of the other podcasts and stuff, and trying to, because we are going to the Olympia. I'd like to be a little bit more knowledgeable about who's going up and everything like that. And me personally, I've got Nick Walker taking it. He'll probably end up in 5th, but but there's
there's it just depends on which way they
Samson's go. Massive,
fucking freak, man.
Big Rami's bigger.
I still am a huge fan of Hunter Labrada. Just in incredible shape.
Yep.
And he's now 20 pounds heavier than was that. He's incredibly bigger and more conditioned. You got Derek Slenford that got the special invite that Flex Lewis had that wasn't able to use. So he got that special invite and's moved up from 212. He's the reigning 212 Olympian. So he's thrown in the mix. Still got Hottie. Still got Ramy, the top 2 the past couple of years. Brandon Curry. He's always he's the Mr. Olympian himself. So
it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, Ian's always massive and dense as hell and conditioned.
Be better than 7th place, and he's doing better.
Yeah, he'll love it. Yeah. Who's the black dude that's just crazy full muscle bellies? That'll come to me. He's another crazy freak. Awesome dude. Is out of Florida, I think.
Andrew Jacked?
Well, he's going too.
He's massive.
Yeah, he's not the one I'm talking about. But yeah, Andrew Jack's kind of the Blessing. Yeah. Is one. Still not the one I'm thinking about.
No.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys. Yeah, there's a lot of guys.
The caliber's up there. Yeah. No, that'll be cool. And you guys are going to, obviously, Melissa's night, which is Friday night.
So Friday, most of the women and most of the divisions compete. Saturday is pretty much set for the big boys. I do remember Jake Wood and president, the owner of Olympia and Dan Solomon talking about trying to bring every division onto the stage, the main stage, at some point in the weekend.
That'd be cool.
So I don't know if that's Friday night or Saturday night. That's what he said last.
Are you guys going Saturday night to the finals?
Absolutely, yeah. Because there's a gala for the Olympians after that, so absolutely we're going to see the big boys. It's fun to watch them, and all the classic physique dudes are another level,
Does Bumstead have another one?
I think he does. Yeah. But, you got these young kid, the Urs from Germany. He got 5th last year. But, man,
Is that Miracle Bear or whatever?
Yeah, Miracle Bear on Instagram, yeah. He was just training with Chris down in Florida. His shape is great. He's about the same structure, so he's got that similar look. But,
Not as wide, though, if I remember right.
No, he's 24.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, granted, Chris is only 26 or 7, but still, yeah. I mean, you give it a year or 2 more.
Yeah.
He's incredible physique.
It's pretty cool. It seems like the sport's kind of going more that way. Very rarely in a sport do you have 1 and 2 training together this close to a show. where they're poised as number 1 and number 2, or 1 and number 5 even.
Yeah, the top 5. Even Nick Walker's training with Blessing, and they have this rivalry, whatever.
Yeah.
But they're buds,
Blessing's got a rivalry with everybody. It seems.
Yeah, he just likes.
He just likes to side it.
Yeah, he just likes to stir the pot. But yeah, no, you're seeing a lot of Kamal, who's 51 years old, phenomenal. Got second in Tampa. They placed him a little bit farther off in Texas, which whatever, but
4th
or 5th in Texas, but incredible physique.
Yeah,
I met one of the guys I met down there in Texas.
Cool.
Awesome dude, real good businessman.
Yeah.
Got multiple gyms overseas and here.
And he's a prior Olympia in 212, is that right?
Yeah, he's a prior 212 Olympian too, so he knows what it takes.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
And he trains with Nick.
Yep, he trains down there at the MI40 gym.
Yep. So that's pretty cool. It's going
to
be interesting to see.
Yeah.
That's probably what I'm most excited about for the rest of the year, because...
The Olympia?
Yeah.
I mean, not just the bodybuilding, but how many other things happen at the Olympia.
Oh, yeah.
The strongman events.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be cool to go see the amateur, the powerlifting they have there, which, I mean, it's geared powerlifting, but it's still fun to watch.
We got Stan Efforting putting on the world's strongest gym.
That'll be cool to see.
So we're trying to put a team together, see if we can't be a part of that. So
yeah, that'll be cool.
He's such a great guy down there. He started his own gym too.
Sin City Iron.
Sin City Iron. We trained down there when we were there for the USA's. Awesome gym.
Yeah.
Just more like our style. It's actually Brandon Allen's one of his old gyms spots.
Oh, okay.
And when Brandon shut his down, he required his space and made it his. So
nice.
Real nice spot.
Yeah. So at least everyone knows where it's at.
8 minutes off the strip. I mean, 8 minutes from the strip. It's real close. So, but yeah, that'll be super fun.
Yeah.
And the expo's gonna be the stage this year. They've increased the prize money for all of the divisions in bodybuilding. So before, the Mr. Olympia always had the big money. The female bodybuilders always had, but then all the other divisions were $40,000, $35,000, $25,000 for first place, and then they've brought all divisions up to $50,000 for first place now. Aside from women's and men's bodybuilding, which obviously
hundreds, right?
$460 or something for men's, and like one in the 160s for.
It's
females.
$500,000 to win Mr. O.
Dang near. Jesus. So you got to remember, all these other divisions came up. None of that would be possible without bodybuilding, the big monsters.
Yeah.
So that people talk about, it's going to just be classic. I don't think so. There's always going to be big dudes. Well, I'm a short guy. I don't fit in the classic frame.
No.
I'm a big bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I think Arnold's kind of trying to go to, is those like weird classes. Not the classic physique and stuff is weird classes, but not the ones that seem to bring the big money or the big PR or whatever you want to call it.
And I still
visibility.
I still think it's a big deal. People want to see the freaks, man.
They'll talk
about classic's a great sport.
Oh, absolutely.
I love classic. I think classic is right aligned with. They are bodybuilders, but they're not the big boys.
No.
They still have to train
well,
legs.
They have a weight cap, right?
They do have a height and weight cap.
Yeah, so
at my height, I'd have to be 180 pounds on stage.
Yeah.
I'm 250 right now. I'm going to sit at like 230 on stage.
Yeah.
So there's no way,
No, I want to see someone 5'6", 5'7", at 320 pounds.
like Nick Walker.
2% body fat. Like, that's what I want to see. And then the women, the same size.
Right.
Like,
some of these women are incredible too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Just blown away.
Oh, yeah. I assume Andrea Shaw's coming back to the
Arizona
Pro.
Yep. Because
she's like 3-time reigning.
This will be a 3 for her too.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Because she was a women's physique competitor in 2019.
That's crazy.
And she's won 2 Olympians and 2 Wings of Strength shows.
It's crazy.
So I'm pretty sure it's 2nd Olympian and 2nd Wings of Strength. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Could be wrong there. Could be going for her 4th, but I think it's her 3rd. Actually, I know it's her 3rd because she won the car and she showed a picture of her garage and she had the Camaro and the Corvette.
Yeah.
So I think this is for her 3 first. So her and Melissa, we make sure to get a picture of them because they've won for almost 3 years. 3 years in a row. It's pretty cool.
And I'll steal another banner or whatever we got last time.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. We need to do that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, so definitely a busy end of the year. So you're done competing.
I'm done. I'm on the build season.
Okay.
I don't like to use the term off season because literally
you're still dieting.
You're every day you're training for that next show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all of the work is done in the off season.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay a lot leaner this year. I'll be more conditioned. I'll probably have vascularity and striations most of the year growing through my. So we're eating a lot different. I'm eating 8 times a day, almost 4.5 pounds of meat a day, 30 pounds a week. I mean,
nice.
and we just got on the outside. We haven't even started pushing food yet. So, it's a big job, but I'm in the off season, focusing on Melissa, focusing on our events here for the Strongman. You got a powerlifting meet coming up here.
Yeah, 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks
today.
today.
From today,
Yeah. So that'll be
You're
my first one.
putting some big numbers up.
Trying to. So last powerlifting comp I did was March of 21, I think it was. So took a big break and then
got some strongman stuff.
But definitely did some strongman stuff in between. I think in that time frame I've done 15 strongman shows.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So yeah, back to powerlifting. And there's some requirements to stay current with your credentials because I am a national ref for USPA and so you have to maintain some level of activity in the sport. And I think it also makes you a better judge to be able to do that. You can do that. So going to that. That's October 22nd.
We have a couple of members aside from you competing at the same.
I believe so, right?
Meet,
3 others.
I forget the names, man.
And then we have a couple members that are reffing it. So
so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool,
If everything goes right, it'll be a big PR meet for me. So kind of
because you're like 20% up on some of your numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. So shooting for like a 750 squat in that range. I think my last comp I got a 630. So we'll be
a lot different.
Yeah,
that's more than 20%.
Yeah, over the last comp. But last September, I think it was September 28th of last year, I hit 705 in the gym. So now I'm hitting 750 in the gym, and felt pretty comfortable. Felt like a good.
It looked easy.
Yeah, felt like a good weight for me. And then bench. These guys that are benching 800 pounds, it's impressive, even more so.
It's just insane.
Because 20 pounds on that one, and I'm happy with that PR. So
it moves a lot slower than some of the bigger lifts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of that might be mental too, right? So the fear of snapping a pec off. And then deadlift, same thing. Shooting for a 750. I did PR attempt that last night, didn't get it. But I'm probably, but my PR right now, 725 raw. No straps or anything like that, powerlifting style. So I think I'll be good for 730, 740 in that range. So definitely shooting for an elite total. If I can get better than that, then I'll do that. And then me and another member in the gym, we got a little side bet going on. If I beat his total, then I get dinner. So,
you're more interested in dinner, right?
If there's one thing to get me to do a comp, it's food and a T-shirt. The trophy's great, but it's the food and T-shirt that lasts.
You don't carry your trophy around everywhere.
Exactly. So we're doing that one October 22nd. Static.
You'll be probably the official on that one.
Yeah. If I feel amazing, I'll do a late entry. But I'm trying to be smart at the end of this year and just I need to repair. I did compete a lot this year in a lot of heavy comps. So I just need to repair up a little bit more and get my strongman numbers back up. And then after this comp, I have some gym goals that I want. So I do want a strongman deadlift 800. I want to break 800 this year.
Which is just a deadlift with straps.
Straps, exactly.
And if you hitch a little, it's all right.
Exactly.
As long as you get to lockout.
Exactly. So over 800 is the goal this year. 400 log is the goal this year. And then I'd be happy.
What are you at with your log right
370.
now?
370
Got some
right
attempts at 380.
Yeah, so...
Real close.
Real close. It's just a mindset and...
for sure.
Sacking up type thing. So I think just got
the strength is there for sure.
I think so. Yeah. And last night the deadlift, it wasn't a technique flaw. After watching the video, I looked back on it. It's not a technique flaw. It was strength that just wasn't there that day.
Oh, right.
So I did PR Monday on a squat. So maybe I'm burnt from that, but
when you're those last 4 to 6 weeks into a comp, man, they're the heaviest ones because you're having to push the heaviest numbers.
Exactly.
Over 90, 95% a lot of the times. to get your body used to that.
Exactly. So CNS will be fully primed and ready, I think, with the 2-week little deload. So next week is just a heavy bench and then light lower body. And then we go into deload week, and then we compete the 22nd, 29th. And then if we do the World's Strongest Gym, my last comp will be December 16th.
Right on.
In Vegas with Stan. And then same thing, just Carrie shows on November 5th.
Yeah, Carrie and Melissa, both our wives, are competing on the 5th.
Yep, so she's...
We're the professional bag holders during that.
Mm-hmm.
Except I got 2 athletes competing, so I'm going to be coaching 2 as well.
Oh, yeah, no, see, that's too much. I only shave one back,
I ain't shaving nobody. They can do that on their own.
Yeah. So just kind of focusing on her. This will be her pro debut.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, I have all the faith in her that she's going to do a lot better than she thinks she's going to do.
Same.
She's more of the...
She's getting in her head about it.
She gets in her head. She tries to play that humility card really well, where she's just like, nah, I'm just good just showing up. Let's just show up and see what happens. The mindset that she has with it is similar to like I had at Beerstone earlier this year was... this is my first big competition. This will be her first pro show. Where do I stack up? What do I need to bring up? What do I need to, So she's kind of using it as that, which is great. And, it's in Phoenix, so it's a 2-hour drive up. And
she's doing it with one of her best friends,
exactly.
Melissa,
and
that's pretty cool.
And that's what I told her. I was like, if Melissa wins this 3rd time in a row, it might be her last Arizona Pro.
You never know.
Be your last chance until you're at the Olympia level to be able to go compete with her.
We don't know what's going to happen in a year ever. Anything can change. So,
Yeah. Well,
take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah,
but, like she said, she doesn't know where she stacks, and I can sense that she just, I think she's going to do better than she thinks.
Yeah.
If she can just...
I told her if she pulls top 10 in your pro debut, I think that's huge.
I think she'll do better than that. But,
yeah.
It also depends on who shows up, and this year has been quite impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Overall, with all divisions, probably powerlifting, strongman as well.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's just, maybe it was post all the bullshit we had the last 2 years, and
everybody creeping in the shadows are coming out now.
Yeah, you got lucky sometimes when you were in the last couple of years, but now there's no luck.
Yep.
The best of the best.
Just a couple honorable mentions out of the gym with these people just hanging out in the shadows. Corey, he's doing a comp. I think he's poised to do a comp in February. He'll be doing a drug-tested USPA. So he's kind of been lurking in the shadows, and I think he's going to hit February and just surprise a lot of people. I think he's on track to hit like 2,200 pound total
he's
at 220 pounds.
Yeah.
That's insane,
The first day in our gym, I think he was using straps. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Who gives a crap?
925?
950.
950.
950.
Yeah, first day. That is the
First
way to
time
show
he ever
up.
showed up in our gym. He's like, all right, that guy's on board.
Yep. And then
super humble guy. One of the nicest dudes you'll talk to.
Yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's not cocky at all.
Oh.
He's one of the nicest guys. And I think he's genuine. I love that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it goes a long way.
I try to emulate that myself because I tend to be a little bit more cocky sometimes. But I'm still...
I have to dial back the cockiness sometimes.
Anymore, I own the gym, so now I think it's for me, it's just come on in. Let's get you started. Let's get you going. I don't care where you're at,
Absolutely. A member by proxy, CJ, he's going for a world record in the log in October.
And he's already a pro strongman, right?
So,
or is it?
He's a pro, and I'm not I'm not trying to take anything away from him.
Under 90.
Yes, he's won the world championships twice at U90.
Okay.
But they only gave the official pro card to the 105ers. So, yes, he is a pro. He's done pro shows. He's won big money. He's broken many world records. He is a pro strongman in all rights. But in strongman, it's kind of different because, a lot of people, and I call it the backdoor route, they do really well at these comps, and then they get an invite, and then they're on the pro circuit. So, technically, Evan Singleton isn't even a pro strongman, even though he's won... I think he's on 2 Giants Live champions. And
he's a young guy, too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a pretty young guy. Yeah.
28 or something?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think 28. and he's competed at World's Strongest Man 3 times or something like that now. He was supposed to be in Glasgow this weekend actually competing at Giants Live World Tour Finals, but he actually got a injury lifting. So he had to pull out of that. But, I mean, he's on this pro circuit. He's one of the best in the world, but technically not a pro. So it's a very
hold the card.
Yeah, it's just a very gray area, But you can't do that in bodybuilding, right? Like you can't. You have to go. You have to win that pro card to step in a pro show.
Correct.
Yeah. So strongman's
in
a little
the U.S.
Weird. Oh, okay.
Now I think they have little things that are a little bit different.
Little
maybe
alleyways.
in Canada.
Yeah.
And in the Middle East, it might be a little bit different. But in general, yeah, if you're going to be on the Olympia stage, if you're going to be competing at an IFBB Pro show in the States, you have to have that card.
Okay.
Regardless where you come from.
Yeah, so strongman is just a little bit different in that route. And it's almost more impressive. And to be fair, just because you win a pro card, let's say you win nationals and you win your pro card, doesn't mean you're going to these big Giants Live shows.
Well, that's the same with bodybuilding, right?
Yeah.
Or physique figure, whatever,
yeah,
right?
you may never hit a pro show.
You get your pro card, big whoop, until you start competing at a pro level.
Exactly.
Start competing at those shows and being on that circuit. So CJ, he's already been competing on that level, right?
Well, yeah, he's class champion. Competed at class 3 times now, I think it is. Going back again this year.
So that
OSG, like he's.
So that experience is you can't put a price on.
Yeah,
dealing with all the level. There's shit to every level. We always say that there's shit to these, there's levels to this. And, the Olympia stage ain't the Texas Pro stage.
Right.
Ain't the New York Pro, ain't nationals, ain't USAs, ain't,
right.
Your local shows. There's levels to this every single where you go. And I'm sure it's very similar with strongman too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you get better people, you get better events, you get better equipment, all this.
Yep.
Or it's shitty equipment and everybody's got to use it.
Right.
Doesn't really matter.
Those are the fun ones.
Yeah, exactly. For us that train out of the garages and shit used to the crap. So.
This one's kind of bent. Go with it.
This is my bad side anyway. Yeah. Throw it on that
side. Exactly. Yeah, so, and then who else we got going up for shows? Amy, Carrie, Melissa.
Andrea's doing. So Andrea's my. This is year 3 with me.
Okay.
As a bodybuilder, she's her brother's Rusty Jeffers. He's a legend in the sport of bodybuilding. Been around forever. Just won the. He's qualified. They're coming back.
Legion?
He won Legion last year, the Masters, and he's. They are bringing back the Masters Olympia in 2023. So we're pretty sure that qualifies him for that.
Nice.
So there's gonna be another division next year, another spot on the stage.
Yeah.
Maybe, so it's gonna be pretty cool because man, this sport has gotten older.
Oh yeah.
It used to be very young. Arnold was 27 when he was the last Olympia, or 28.
Jeez.
Now there are
Dexter Jackson's 50.
Yeah, he was 52 and he did 100 shows or something like that. And he's still in great shape and. All these guys, the stage is just so much older now. So now you got Johnny Jackson, who's 54, and he even's talking about, hey, we saw him down in Texas too. He's like, man, if they bring it back, I might just jump right back in there because they still train like crazy dudes. They still train hard as shit.
Well, and he's a power lifter at heart, but looks like a bodybuilder. And
he used to, before Stan Efferding, for 8 or 9 years, he had the strongest IFBB pro bodybuilder.
Oh, okay.
So he had the biggest powerlifting total as a pro bodybuilder.
Is he the one that went up against Ben White? Who went up against Ben first? Was it Stan or was it Johnny?
I don't remember.
At the Olympia. They did the world's strongest bodybuilder at the Olympia that year.
What year was it? That would help me.
Oh.
I don't know.
2012.
And then
Throw that number out there.
Then it probably was Johnny.
Johnny,
Jackson,
okay.
Yeah. Because I don't think Stan won it until a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, Andrea, her brother Rusty Jeffers, but I've been coaching her. She's been at the USA, has placed second the last 2 years.
For sure.
So the first year was in the Open, and she's in the 50 plus class, but she did the Open and got second. This past year,
and she's tall.
She's not super tall. She's 5'7", I think.
Okay.
But she's a bodybuilder. She looks phenomenal. She's sitting at 170 pounds right now, and we're 4 weeks out. So she's gonna still
and lean from what I saw,
and more conditioned than she's ever been in her life, and way more muscular. So we're dialing her in for the USA's, the Masters USA's.
Which is in California.
Yeah, it's in Anaheim
Okay.
this year. It's been in Phoenix quite a bit, but it's in Vegas, but it's in Anaheim this year on the night. I think she competes on the 20th, so Sunday. That's the ultimate goal. We are pit stopping at the Arizona Pro because we all live here in Arizona, and it's a great show that Jake puts on up there, the Wings of Strength. And she loves doing it, and plus all the pros are backstage, so she can hang out with them.
Yeah.
And she loves those gals too. So, so I'm really excited for her. We got Amber, one of my bikini competitors. We brought her in really shredded last time, and it was a little bit too hard for the look. So we've softened the look up, and she's worked a lot on her posing. So she's also doing the Arizona Pro and also doing the USA's, Masters USA's.
Nice.
So I'm excited to see where we can.
So that'd be a nice turnaround. A couple days off, and then she gets to get back on diet. Well, I guess both of them actually.
Both of them, yeah.
Right?
We'll get a good refuel that night. Maybe
Cheesecake
a little breakfast, and then right back on it to finish it up.
Cool.
This is only 2 weeks, so it's not. That's right, 2 weeks. Yeah, fifth. Yeah. So that's not that much time. You don't have that much time to play. If you have 4 weeks.
Go a little bit crazy.
But if you're dialed in, you can have those meals. If you're not, maybe we'll just do the one cheat meal. So it just depends on where we end up on that day.
Yep. And then
Melissa's dialing it in. She's
insane and still lifting.
Her off season is most people's stage ready.
Yeah.
So she's got a
She just hit
stand.
4-something on deadlifts the other day.
Yeah, she was trying
With
for
chains.
4. Well, man, I think it was like 485 at the top or something.
Right.
It was insane. Yeah. And then she
4 weeks out.
Yeah, and then her deload week, she's like feeling good, so she goes for 405 for 10 reps.
And physically, she's good. No injuries, no setbacks. Good.
Not one thing's tweaked on her that she doesn't like right now.
That's where you want to be.
I mean, I think she wants to eat a lot more.
Oh, sure.
Because she's a women's physique that is probably outgrowing that division here next year because she loves to lift and wants to eat. So, but we're on track this year to stay in that. So we have to limit food so she doesn't get too big.
And the judges in Texas did tell her that, right? Like, great conditioning, great size, don't do anymore.
They said perfect size.
Yeah.
Don't come in any more conditioned than you do.
Oh, wow.
Your conditioning is borderline.
Okay.
Yeah, but basically that.
Because she definitely is the grainiest on stage.
She's bodybuilder grainy.
Yeah.
There's only a few women out there that get that lean.
Yeah.
There's more this year than there ever has been.
Yeah.
Because I think between her and Sarah and a couple of the other gals, they're bringing that standard up. But bodybuilding's meant to be the big mass, the super, super conditioning with proper
Tapers and all that.
symmetry.
Yeah.
And then physique is supposed to be kind of a notch down. Not as big, still great shape, still conditioning, but they don't really want to see super striations everywhere.
Right.
They want to see cuts. They want everything tight. But, and then, every division has just a little bit different criteria. So, as a coach, it's kind of fun trying to dial people into these because you got to really know what they're looking for as judges,
I think figure's a difficult one because they want that size, right? Because these figure girls
I would put that right
big.
under physique, yeah.
Yeah, they're getting big. Like some of these girls, like Carrie will show me these photos and video. I'm like, this girl's a big girl, and they're probably only 120 pounds, 125
Well, yeah,
pounds,
they're like
but they just look
right, yeah.
massive. But you don't want so much graininess, and you kind of leave some of the cuts out of it, And then in bikini, it's even harder. And I feel like bikini's kind of going to... Oh, yeah, then you got wellness under that, right? Which wellness is the hybrid of figure and bikini, in my opinion. Because you want that thick lower body, nice bikini back, but you actually get to show it off. Mm-hmm. In the bikini division, they're not supposed to show their back. Mm-hmm. Like weird Amish or something like that. Like, don't show your back. So bikini seems like a hard one to do because it does seem... Aaron's wife, Melissa, she's a bikini competitor as well, and she came in pretty lean, and she was too lean. Yeah. Amber came in lean, too lean. But then you can't be too, spilled over or, too soft.
So the criteria is,
that's a very difficult one to balance on that.
Yeah, the head judges talk about this. Sandy Williams, she's one of the head judges. The head judge for the NBC for the women's, and they talk about what are they looking for in each division.
Yeah.
If it's coming from the head judge, what else do you have to go off of?
That's it.
So bikini, they a female could get in a bathing suit and step on the beach, and that's what it is on stage. Now, it's nothing like that because I don't know very many normal petite gals that walk around like that anymore.
15 years ago, that's what it was.
Maybe, yeah. But they don't want any jiggle.
Yeah.
They know really not even much, maybe just a little separation between a hamstring and a glute.
Yeah.
But not much, maybe just a little bit in the delts, but zero striations. They want it just nice and tight tummy, you know.
Abs, but not too much abs.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a little bit of abs, but if it's too much, all of a sudden you're a figure gal,
Yeah.
you know.
It's crazy.
So, and then they want to be petite.
Yeah.
You know, even if they're a tall girl, they have to be petite. They have to be small, skinny, streamlined, right? Because now they have all these divisions. There's other divisions you can jump into. In the past, you know, you might have a broader scope of what each division was allowing. So they're really trying to refine that. I've seen the judging be a little bit more particular.
Yeah.
You know, go up to this class, go down to that one, go over here. You know, there's a women's physique competitor that just did the Tampa Pro, and she you know placed 6th at the 2020 Wings of Strength with Melissa, but she was dead last this time. She had a blast. But her physique is more wellness. So she's crossing over to wellness now because she's got the big glutes, the big quads, and just not super massive. She's going to do great in wellness. She's absolutely going to do great. You know, and that's what the judges said. Switch over, move that way, and awesome call.
And as an ifbbpro, Pro, which I didn't realize until I think earlier this year, you don't have to qualify in another class.
You don't have to re-pro yourself.
Right.
Once you're a pro, you're a pro. You
can come in as a bikini pro and grow into a bodybuilder in the next 10 years and never have to re-qualify.
Right. The only thing is that
card.
Whatever year you're competing, you have to compete in that division. They don't allow crossovers in that year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So but maybe you said your physique at the beginning of the year and then you're moving to bodybuilding. Well, from that point on, you're just bodybuilding. You can't go back to physique.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. They want you to stay in the one division, but you can swap.
Okay.
But that's pretty cool, you know, because how are you going to get a 212 division? There's no 212 pro cards.
Right.
So, you know, you win the light heavyweights,
and
you're at 198 and you grow into the 212s.
Yeah.
Or you're a heavyweight that was light, and then you can diet down into that, right? Yeah. Or you're a men's physique, and you know, Brett Wilkins is a great example because he was a classic physique dude.
Really.
And 3 years off season, all of a sudden he's an open pro bodybuilder. So
and looks like an open pro.
Yeah, and way massive now. We saw him in Texas as well.
Really?
Super nice guy. Yeah, he's put a lot of size on.
Yeah, and seems like a very genuine, nice dude as well.
Very chill. Very chill. Him and his wife are awesome, yeah.
Good.
But yeah, it's an exciting year. We got a lot of stuff we're lining up for next year, but we'll save that for another podcast.
Yeah, and going forward, I think we're kind of going to bring in some more athletes.
Yeah, let's start interviewing some athletes here.
You've been training with Brandon and Amber quite a bit?
Yeah, so Brandon just won his pro card at the USA's. He won the light heavyweight class, so we've done a couple of some training videos, and we have more in line. So we should get him on here.
Are those going to be posted on Beast's YouTube
will
as well?
Those, cool. Yep. So we just shot. So the leg day's not even out yet.
Looked disgusting.
Yeah, it was intense. You know, we got Melissa in there training with us, and she's, you know, chatting between sets, and we're both trying to suck in wind over here. She's just killing it.
I got some canned air next time. You guys let me know. I'll bring it down for you.
Yeah, but it's a blast. Amber's awesome on the camera. We got Ashley training with the camera too, so we should be getting a lot more content coming out. That's my goal this year.
Have you guys talked to Amber into competing yet?
She needs to.
Yeah, Amber, if you're watching, compete. Yeah, I remember seeing her for the first time. Carrie and I both looked at it was at an LA Fitness, and we were like, what division is she in? And then we talked to Brandon. That's actually how we met Brandon. And, you know, hey, what division is your wife? And he's like, she just trains. Oh, man, what a waste.
She likes to do the CrossFit style training, and she's real good at it. So.
Yeah, very good at it. And then I do want to get Roy on. Roy Arancha.
Strongman lined
He's
up.
a new Arizona pro, just won the Arizona Strongman, Arizona Strongest Man. He's getting ready for a couple things at the end of this year, so I definitely want to get him on before America's Strongest Man.
Okay.
Talk about his training, and he's off the top of my head, I have to double check, but I think he's on track to hit a 2,200 pound total next month
In
in
powerlifting.
powerlifting.
So he's a
that's
crossbred
the craziest part. Yeah, real quick on that. He hit a 2,000 pound, broke a 2,000 pound total in an APF meet.
Raw with reps.
Yes. And then the next week won his pro card at the Arizona Strongest Man.
What the?
A week later. And if I remember right, I got to look at the calendar again, but I think he's doing the same thing this year with America's Strongest Man in this World Championship. So,
talk about crossing over between sports. I think if two are to mesh, it's strongman and powerlifting.
Oh yeah,
because strongman and powerlifting and bodybuilding, strongman and bodybuilding. Yeah, we can use the same movements, but stage condition and strength condition, for a meet are two totally different animals.
Melissa's base exercise
is powerlifting. Absolutely.
But she does a ton of accessory work for that bodybuilding side.
A lot of hybrid style,
yeah.
And I think that's kind of where everyone's going nowadays.
Yeah.
But I've always trained like that too.
Yeah.
Hard compound movements, the rep ranges can be whatever. Then you have your hypertrophy work, time under tension work, and making sure you hit all the muscle groups.
Yeah, and I do believe that, like you said, strongman and powerlifting, I think, go closer hand in hand.
Right.
Because if you can yoke walk 1,000 pounds,
your squat's going to be hella good.
So
I mean, I've done that where I've not 1,000 pounds, but I've had 700 pound yoke before my squat was close to that, and when I got under a 675 bar, I was like, the central nervous system was ready for it, right?
Exactly.
So, a lot of crossover there, but that's cool. And then we got the big man Boss Haas that we should get on here as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was supposed to be in France this weekend for the Ultimate Strongman. He picked up a pretty serious injury, so he's going to sit out until OSG later this year. So he was supposed to go over and do that one. So he's got a little bit of recovery time. Yeah, I'd love to get him on.
And then I got a couple of bodybuilding friends that we can get on here as well. Some of the new pros, some of the up-and-coming high-end.
See, that's the thing.
And, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, if you were a top amateur bodybuilder like I am and a lot of these guys are, we were sponsored. There was all these. Not anymore these days. It's almost like you don't even know they exist. And these guys are the next big dudes. Yep. So we should get them on. There's a lot of good freaking dudes out there, man.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes I prefer to listen to those stories,
They're real stories.
Yeah.
These are guys coming from the trenches a lot of the times,
So definitely, if you comment who you want to see on as well,
Absolutely.
Hit up the Be Strong Powerhouse page, the IG, if you want to come on. If you're an up-and-comer, if you're a badass in your sport, let us know.
Especially in Arizona.
Yeah.
Anywhere, really.
Love showing love to the Arizona sports guys.
And your Instagram?
Troy Shanks 275.
All right. Mine's just Rafe IG, pretty sure. Be Strong Powerhouse. You can always get us there. Be Strong Powerhouse. And then, hell yeah, let us know.
Cool.
Like and subscribe, boys and girls. Appreciate it. We'll see you sooner than later this time. Not
Hopefully.
3 months.
Yeah.
Not 3 months. Can't promise anything, but not 3 months.
Yeah, 2.5.
All right. All right.
Not bad.